Welcome to the part 2 of creating your first one-shot, your first adventure, your first game. But you're not happy, I hear. There was too much talking, not a lot of doing. Well, that will change. Now that we set up the ground rules and we know what we're doing, we know what kind of game our friends want to play and what we want to create, it's time to start. I want you to have a quick look on this. Remember, we want to create a story, an adventure, something that have a beginning and the end. So every good film have 3 acts. First one is a setup, introduction. Second act, it's showing us a plot, midpoint, some kind of confrontation, result, another plot point, something happening, and act 3, climax, solution. Okay? Let's take for example the Lord of the Rings. So the first part, okay? Fellowship of the Ring. So the setup is that there's this old ring that was been in the family of Baggins for decades, and apparently, alright, spoiler alert, yeah I know, apparently this is a source of great evil, and this ring is bad news, okay? So we are gathering the party and we want to go to destroy this ring. This is a setup, this is a plot, right? Many things happens, probably the act 2 and the great battle is this confrontation, this fight, and act 3 is fellowship cease to exist, right? The culmination is that everyone goes separate ways, and this is the part of a longer story that is really, the point is, we don't have a time for all of that, okay? Our setup is gonna be the exact setup that we had in the Lord of the Rings, really. Our setup is gonna be just a flavor text. We're gonna prepare a text and read it to our players. So no, they're probably not gonna be fighting a demon, but let's say a wizard, creepy wizard. Yeah, he fits, that guy. His name, well, it's not Saruman, let's say it's Samuel the Wise. So he just kidnapped a princess, okay? He just kidnapped the princess and he wants to make a sacrifice to summon this guy. Cliché, I know, but again, this is a 2 to 3 hours experience for one night. So let's make sure we're not gonna bite more than we can chew, okay? Moving on. So if you want a more complicated, longer, bigger story, by all means, do it. But we are going simple. Simple is good. Sometimes less is more. So in our story, this creepy guy have kidnapped a princess. Oh, okay, let's say a girl, okay? He kidnapped a girl. So her father, let's call him Sir William Carrington. William Carrington hired our players, our heroes, to rescue his daughter. And her name is Annabelle Carrington. Right, sorted. And now it's time for dramatic reading.
3 months have passed since you start investigating disappearing of Annabelle Carrington. Her father, William, promised you gold, a lot of gold, too much to say no. After investigating many dead ends, you have finally found a rumor about a man with a scar traveling with a young woman that fits the description of Annabelle. Following their tracks through woods and marshes, you have found a place, an old mansion rumored to be a home of a mad wizard.
Right, done. We just skipped for the Act 1 setup, introduction, plot, part of Act 2, and we are where we want to be for our one shot, really, to the culmination, to the climax, to the end, very end of this short story. Right, so what do we know and what do we need to have in order to this game, this story to have its climax, its end? So there was a kidnapper that kidnapped that girl to the mansion, to the dungeons of this old wizard, this mad, crazy guy, to his home. So we need to find her in the dungeons. So this is where we're gonna go. This is what we need right now. Okay, let's get some dungeons. Fetch me some dungeons. Quick, quick, come on boy, go on. Alright, welcome to our dungeon. For purposes of that, we are going to use a tabletop simulator. You can use just a piece of paper and draw the rooms, and as the figures of our players you can use dice or buttons or just some kind of candy, sweets, something that represents our characters in the game world. Or you don't have to use nothing at all. Remember, this is a role-playing games. You can use a theater of your mind, just imagine stuff. This is fine too. We have this, and the purpose of this video, we're gonna use a tabletop simulator, and we are in the dungeons of this mad wizard. Okay, he used to be called Samuel the Wise. He used to be a great personality in the science world of D&D, but now he become mad. He closed himself in his mansion deep in the forest, and he kidnapped this girl, Annabelle. So we are here. Let's say our party have 4 players, so we have rogue, wizard, cleric and barbarian. I want you to remember our descriptions, even though we are here in this room, in this game. We see everything, right? So you can feel like, all right, I don't have to describe everything, but use the descriptions. Describe a room, describe the walls, describe the feel of the air. Is it cold? Try to refer to all the senses: smell, sight, hear. Can they hear anything? Maybe some screaming from inside. That will motivate them, yeah. Maybe a young girl screaming. Yes, I would say it might be. They might think it might be an Annabelle. It might motivate them to move forward. Let's start with this big door. They are open. They can be closed. Your choice. What matters is this. What they see, there's gonna be this big sign on the floor. Follow the master if you want to ascend, if you want ascension, okay? Something like that. They will think nothing of it, but let's keep that in mind. Let's put it there, right? So let's move it in. They are open the doors and they're moving into the mansion. Open the doors and moving into the mansion. Ask them who's going first. Who's going first? Maybe rogue, because he's sneaky. He can track and he can move very quietly. Who's next? Maybe the barbarian, maybe cleric and wizard. So they're moving forward. Okay. Oh, let's leave the door where they are. Yeah, let's leave them here. So they're moving forward. You can ask them to make a perception or investigation test only if they say they are being careful and they're looking around. If they're not, just let them run into this weird thing. Can you see those two? This is a teleport. This is a teleport trap. So what we will do, it will vector. It will. There's an invisible line over here, right? And anybody who will go through it will get teleported to the beginning of the dungeon over here. It might seem weird. You might think, why this is happening? Solution to that is that they have to, spoiler, if you're watching it and you're a player and you want to play this adventure, maybe stop watching now, because you might ruin the fun for yourself. But again, moving on. Solution to this is that they have to go backwards. They can, you can come up with a different solution. You might just come up with nothing at all. You don't have to have a trap over here. But I thought, let's have something weird. Oh no, they're gone. Let's have something weird over here, okay? So, let's remove those. Okay, so if they're gonna move forward, going backwards, they'll be alright. They're not gonna get teleported to the beginning. This is a theme of what I've mentioned before. This is a house of a creepy wizard, okay? So these are not enemies, these are just sets of armor. Plate armor or just a armor, just standing here, looking menacing, looking like they're almost alive. Maybe they are alive. Maybe there's another trap over here that will set them into motion if they activate it. You never know. Okay, now our players can go forward, straight the corridor. They can go left, or they can move over here. But this corridor it's collapsed. You have a lot of bricks and other stuff that just fall down from the ceiling, and it will be really hard to squeeze through. So if in your parties maybe one of your characters plays as a gnome, or maybe as some smaller race, or maybe a dwarf, he can sneak past it, no problem. There's enough room for him to pass through it if he moves some stones around. So make like a strength test, or acrobatics, athletics maybe, if you want to move like by strength, or acrobatics if you just want to like sneak past those obstacles, and he's gonna get past and move forward over there. What's over there? We'll find out soon. Maybe they wanna move over here, open those doors. Those doors will be unlocked. They're unlocked. There's no problem unlocking them. And over here, there's something weird. There's like a camp inside of a house. Why there's a camp? Why there's a... It's weird. Okay, there's a weird stuff over here. And over here, what's over here? There's more weird stuff. There's a corridor. It's a long corridor. Okay. Maybe they will decide just to go forward. And by going forward, just moving, they will encounter this riddle. This riddle, a lot of letters. There's only one solution to this riddle, and if your players are not comfortable on how to solve it, or how to find out the solution, this is fine. They can use one of the other roads. If they decide to go through this over here, going over here, this is going to be a safer road. Safer, but not necessarily. I'll just tell you why right now. Over here they will find this, like this student room, like a room where probably having a lectures for his students, or maybe a guest. It looks like there's some chairs and a table. Maybe he having like a small temple. Up to you. I'm just throwing in ideas, giving you ideas, to giving you something to your players can encounter, or they can see in this weird house. So if your players gonna go over here, they can encounter this room, and in this room there are two guarding dogs. One of them is asleep, and he will wake up if your players won't be careful, and other one is awake, sitting on the table. So if they walk in through these doors, they have to fight with those two wolves. All right. Fighting wolves, never a good thing. So what's gonna happen if they're gonna go forward? Over here, this one, gonna decide to go left. While over here, there's a couple stuff. First of this weird camp, and we are remembering, right, that our players, they were tracking the kidnappers, right? So they're probably hungry and tired. So over here there's this very nice soup boiling, almost ready to eat. And this soup, let's say it's poison, right? So if one of the players try to taste it, he's gonna get poisoned, and he's not gonna feel well, right? If they decide to, right, we don't want to deal with wolves, or we don't solve this riddle, and we decide just to go over here, and maybe none of them will taste the soup, that's fine, because over here there's a trap. There's this sword. If someone gonna move over here, this sword will do some damage to him. So this is just a representation of the trap. It can be like a spikes or something. Anyone going forward first and not making like a trap, a test, like looking around, being very careful, is gonna get hurt really bad. So this is another thing, another trap. So what if your players like challenges? They like to be smart, like okay, let's solve this riddle. So if you look closely, those letters create some words. One of them is for example, remember this, follow the master if you want to ascend. So following the master, so master, right? Another one, ascend. Just two, either can be solution or none of them can be solution. Anyway, let's say there's a master one is the solution, and if they go like say F, there's gonna be like a magic beams attacking them, let's say dealing some damage every time they're gonna step on the wrong letter. Okay, so this is a riddle, not very complex one, but nonetheless a riddle. Okay, so moving forward, solving this, going through this dungeon. Over here they will find another door leading to this weird room. This weird room where they say there's like a maybe graves, maybe tombs, maybe paintings, maybe some decorative set of armor, maybe some sculptures, and let's say there's this big glowing orb. Again, it's like a trap, maybe a magic creature that's gonna defend this location. The reward is gonna be, let's say, it's gonna be a magic armor or some magic weapon or something. Again, optional room, they can just go in and do some dungeoneering. Okay, over here, what's over here? So over here we have a mad wizard, we have the Scarface, we have a girl, Anastasia, no, her name was Annabelle. It's Annabelle, some kind of bowman, and they're all waiting for our players, right? So bowman, if your players, if you start on the first level, you might don't need to balance it properly, right? So if your players are already wounded, let's say there's only they don't have to be this bowman. This bowman don't have to be over here, but if he's here, he can shoot the fire arrow over here, not in our players, but over here into this barrel. Let's say this barrel is full of the powder, exploding powder, so it will hurt our players. So this is a trap. Again, they are prepared. They are ready for our players. They know they're coming. But let's say our party only includes 3 guys. There's no rogue. There's 1 person less, so only 3 people. So if you look closely, there's another guy hiding behind this wall, and he's a rogue also, like an assassin. So if there's 1, 2, 3, 4 guys against our 3 guys, maybe they might struggle during the combat. So let's even odds, and let's remove this. Again, you need to balance the encounter. You don't want to overwhelm your players. And if you have a dungeon master guide and a monster manual, let's say these guys are like bandits, or like this guy might be a thug or like a bandit capital or something like that. He's a bit tougher, but he's not like nothing special. And this guy, he can just be a mage from a monster manual, or adjust him accordingly. Again, you don't want him to throwing fireballs and and this kind of spells. He needs to be just a crazy man, okay? Just a crazy man with the spells. And what we can have some conversation. They can talk. They can ask him like, give up the girl, and we'll let you leave. And he will probably say no, because he brought her here to make a sacrifice of her to this crazy being, this crazy skull of some ancient being. Okay, so we have a climax, we have a epic combat after our players have traveled for a dungeon. Obviously they can find like for example over here they can find like a healing potion if they wounded. You can adjust the encounter on the fly or just prepare everything. Again, and I'm gonna do all the legwork for you. You need to again prepare. This is just the idea. This is just one of the many options, one of the many paths you can take. You can make the dungeon bigger but again, don't make it too big. As you can see, I gave players options. I gave them an easy path if they can solve the riddle, just straight to the boss room. I've gave them no combat path with the traps and weird contraptions. I gave them another path just with the combat straight to the boss. Okay, an optional room just for looting and a little bit of combat. And the final encounter. This should take about 2 to 3 hours. This game depends from your player's progress. Again, they might completely forget about that master, follow the master or whatever. They might completely forget about it. But again, you need to make a big of a deal from that. Don't say that, oh, it's very important. Just make sure describe it as maybe it's written down or with like a golden letters or something like that. Just make it memorable. And yes, that's the dungeon, that's the adventure. By now you probably know the combat, know the rules, so you know what you're doing. So yeah, that's the one shot for you. This is the idea for a one shot. Just one of many options. Let me know what you think. If you like it, do tell us in the comments, and probably anytime soon, maybe soonish, I will make a series of videos about how to create your own campaign, which is many adventures connecting into something bigger, longer story. And obviously, before we end, we can always have like a stairs going down to the basement. And we have another level of this. Let's say if a wizard is wounded, he can escape and go to the basement and just run away and have another layer, another floor of traps and monsters for our players to track him. Okay? So there's a lot of options, a lot of things you can do. That's just a few ideas right here for you. I hope you liked it. Do leave a comment, rate this video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you wanna see more. I'll see you later. Okay, bye.